Hey everybody, it's Plato again, NYC Taoist. Yo, what's up? Anyway, I got a request in email. Someone wanted to know about exercises that one can do to help open up the hips. And that's something that I've been working on for a long time. And you know, everyone knows the type of exercises where you bend your leg and what are those runner exercises they do to open the hips up, and I'm not going to demonstrate it now. You see it in Google all the time. What are they called? Like hip, something with the psoas, or you open up the hip joint, whatever. It's basically this idea that you have like one leg will be bent like this, and you'll be stretched out forward. You know the whole crap. Anyway, so there's this other exercise that someone was talking to me about in an email the other day. And this exercise was originally invented. I don't know if I could say it was invented, but the way I found about it is there's this book written by this physical therapist named Vicky Sims, and she wrote a book called something like The Secret Cause of Lower Back Pain. Something like that. You can find it, Vicky Sims. And she talks about how hip misalignments are the real root of back pain. And whether this is true or not, it depends on the person's situation, but it's a catchy title. And in the book she describes something which she calls a Sims tool, which is a patented device that she invented for helping to open up the hips. Because normally, if you wanted to open up your hips using this technique, you need a therapist doing it to you. So her idea was like, well, how do I do this myself? So she came up with this thing called the Sims tool. It's actually, there's a patent for it. You can find it on the internet, including instructions how to do it, yada yada. She used to sell it. She doesn't anymore. So some people have been writing to me and said, hey, you talk about this tool, but you can't get it. I said, that's right, they pulled it off the market. The official explanation they told me when I emailed them about it was, well, we need to redesign it. I don't know what the story is, and they have no ETA for a new tool. So I actually made one myself, made from pipe sections from a hardware store, because I wanted to try it. And I discovered since then that you really don't even need to build one yourself. You can actually use a table like this, or a chair leg, and accomplish the same thing that you do with the Sims tool. So because I got this request to show people how to do it, I'm going to show you how to basically make a homemade Sims tool from ordinary furniture lying around your house, and how to use it to stretch out the hip. So this table over here, I don't know, some crappy piece of junk from, I don't know, one of these like stores in New York, like what do they call, like the door, crate, straight from the crate, something like that. Yeah, or crate and barrel. But this, I think, is the one I'm thinking of, is straight from the crate. So I'm going to use this, but of course, just you first have to remove this piece of glass because I don't want to slice my femoral artery while using it. So what you're left with here is this table, which actually is a great leverage pry bar for opening up the hips. I'm going to show you how to do it. I actually haven't done it to myself in a long time. So Jay Cataldo, our famous cameraman here, who you can check out on getyourgirlback.com. He's a relationship expert. He wrote this amazing book on how to get your girlfriend back. Like if she leaves you, let's say you're like this total loser, and one day your girl says, oh, I'm leaving you, I'm fucking the neighbor, and you're like, oh no, boo-hoo-hoo, how do I get her back? Go online and try to find solutions. You won't find any. They'll say some loser crap like, in the 1980s there was that Say Anything movie with John Cusack, and he's like, in your eyes, holding up the ghetto blaster. That shit, I know it's kind of dating me, the fact I'm quoting a movie from the 1980s, but that shit is fucking wrong. You need to learn some real techniques like Jay Cataldo at getyourgirlback.com is teaching. It's unbelievable. Like, your girlfriend who dumped you, like 1-2 months later, will be calling you up, leaving you messages, crying hysterically. And next thing you know, she'll be back on the knob. It's amazing. So anyway, he's a cameraman today, and I'm going to show you how to do this with this table. So the idea is we might have to try different angles because I don't know how this is going to look on a camera. But like the idea is that you would hook one under here, one under there. So no matter how you're doing it, you're always going to have one under the back of the knee, the soft area in here, and one on the front. So the leg is basically locked in place. So when you're doing this exercise, even though you're going to be doing something with your hands moving this, the idea is to keep the leg that you're modifying as relaxed as possible. And you're going to do this on both sides. I'm only going to show you on one side because you're not idiots. You'll figure it out on the second side. So the idea is you want to start with the hip that feels the tightest first, and then do the hip that's looser. At least that's the way I learned it. I don't really know. I don't have enough clinical trials to tell you if it's really the best idea, but I think it is. So the idea is you take this like here, right? And then
you're going to drop it down like this, so that this bar here is where you're applying the fulcrum to. The idea is that you want to take this hip, this bone, like this vector, and you want to pull it up this way and torque it out like this. So it's coming up and out, kind of like one motion. And this is what helps loosen up the hip, right? And it's being leveraged across this. Remember, I'm going to be doing all this work, but this leg is going to be completely relaxed while I'm doing it. So the way I kind of do this is I grab this down over here. I'm grabbing this side like this. And now you can see I'm really relaxing this leg. I'm going to be pushing this against this fulcrum point. And with this hand, I'm going to be pulling towards me, and I'm going to be going up and going out. So it's kind of like up, out, and to this direction. So the idea is that I would grab this. I can't really grab it here, which is why it's better if you build the Sims tool like in the patent. And I'm pulling it back towards me, I'm pulling it up, and I'm pulling it out this way. So you see the torque towards me, see it move back towards me, I'm moving up, and I'm moving out. And this leg's relaxed. So what you do is you like maybe 20 repetitions, boom, 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 and you pull it up. I'm not really doing it well right now, but you get the idea. Maybe I get an angle like this, and I'm going like this, pulling it up. And you really feel it. Even like this, you can feel it right in the hip joint. Okay, maybe use two hands to assist. I'm pulling towards myself up and torquing it outwards in that direction. And you'll feel it right in the hip joint, in the bone. And you do that like 20 reps, like boom, 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 something like this, you know, up 20 times or whatever. And then, you know, you just like replace it, and you do the other, no, drop this in your face. You do it like with the other side the same way. And you come here and, you know, you grab it and you da-da-da-da, the same thing. So, that's the idea, everybody. You know, you do that, and you do it like, you know, every day, multiple times a day, especially like before you go to bed, because that way when you're lying in bed at night, you know, the hips can like get used to the new position. And of course the other thing you may want to do is you go online and you buy one of those like sacroiliac support belts that kind of wraps around and applies pressure into both sides of the hip, and you wear that like during the day. You know, at night obviously when you go to bed you do the exercise, you don't wear a belt, but like in the morning, you know, you might want to do this exercise and then wear that belt. Then over time, you know, the hips get used to this new position, and the tendons change their, you know, elasticity, the ligament laxity gets adjusted. You know, I'm not being very, you know, professional when I talk now, but this is for people obviously who, you know, already have a decent background in this sort of thing and just want to know how to do the technique. So that's my favorite hip adjustment exercise. And it's far better than the standard stuff you'll see about opening the hips on the internet, which for the most part is a lot of bullshit. You know, I mean, it's going to work and relax you and open you up, but you know, if you have like real problem with the thing out of balance, this is the thing that's going to work. That, or see someone who's a real competent therapist, knows how to really adjust the back. I'm not talking about chiropractors now either. So that's that. All right. Well, see you next time.